Hello and welcome to Sunday Storytime for one last time. Now, a whole year ago, I read my very first story to you. Shoes don't grow on trees. And in that 12 months since, I've read somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 maybe stories. And I'm going to finish today with a story called A Fib to finish. And it comes from this book here, Secret Tales from Wales, written by Daniel Morden. And it goes like this. Yesterday morning, at 6 o'clock in the evening, I was sailing through the sky in a little boat when I saw two men on horseback riding a pigeon. I said to them, "Have you seen my sister?" "What does she look like?" "She has a long white beard." "No, we haven't seen her." "Ask the man down there. You can't miss his house. It's all by itself in a row." So I went to the house and knocked on the door. He was a big man, so big he jumped out of a thimble. He shook me by the hand. "Would you like some breakfast?" "No, thank you," I said. So he gave me some. He gave me a plate piled high with lumps of steaming, crunchy beer and a drink of mashed potato. Some crumbs from the beer fell under the table. I heard a noise, looked underneath, and there, nibbling the crumbs of beer, was a giraffe. I said, "I'm going to strangle that giraffe." The man said, "No, that's a very useful giraffe. Only yesterday it went out into the garden, caught a rabbit and ate it. And if you don't believe me, go and ask the rabbit." So I went outside into the garden. I saw a lovely apple tree covered in bananas. I saw a hippopotamus sitting on some donkey's eggs to hatch them out. I saw a man who was blind, a man who couldn't talk, a man with no legs, and a man with no clothes on. The blind man saw the rabbit. The man who couldn't talk said, "Hey, look, there's a rabbit." The man with no legs chased the rabbit around the garden until he caught it. Then he gave it to the man with no clothes on, who put it in his pocket. I then saw some deer. I thought, there's nothing I like eating more than a nice bowl of cornflakes. So I put an arrow into my bow and loosed the arrow through the air. The arrow missed the deer and hit a fish who was going past on a motorbike. And with that fish, I made the best apple pie you have ever tasted. And that was a fib to finish from Secret Tales from Wales. A short story, I know, because I really want to finish Sunday Storytime with a poem. And it's a poem by Rachel Rooney from this book here, The Language of Cat. It's called How to Say Goodbye, because this is my goodbye to you. With a hug, a shrug, a slap or a kiss, with cheers or tears and promises. In a letter, a text, by telephone, in a crowd out loud or whispered alone, from a waving hand on land at sea, from the heart, the mouth, on the count of 3. To a teacher, passer-by, a friend, tomorrow for now, until the end. A word in a poem from me to you. Adios, farewell, adieu. Thank you so much for listening to all of the Sunday story times over the last year. It has been a pleasure to be able to read and share these stories with you. The stories from books, the stories that we've created in school, and a couple of the stories that I've written myself. I hope to see you again sometime later this year. But for now, as the poem says, adios, farewell, adieu.